Poke, prod, punch, slap, kick, stab, nuke.
Okay,
Yep,
today and
it
today.
worked.
Being me.
Yay.
So when can I expect this to be delivered to me, Frodo?
I have officially crested the $110,000 level. Right there.
That's great. So anyway, good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night, or as I like to call it, Friday Eve here at Beyond the Airways, the Infinity Project. Since it's Thursday, that means it's time for our Thumbs Up Thursday wild card. Now, it is the review, but I only have one show to review, and that probably won't even take 5 to 10 minutes tops. Because it's only 3 episodes in so far. At least the fourth one's tomorrow. But
Anyway,
Agreed.
but here is the deal that we're going to work with. After review, we will be doing a little bit of a extension from Warzone Wednesday.
uh-huh.
I have a little bit of an issue, and you'll understand in a little bit.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Alright, so anyway, let's get to the intros. I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently joined on the line by 5 of my crazy cohorts. First, to my immediate, well, left on my screen anyway, we have our master and creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
The birds, they fly.
Then to my bottom middle left is our star child, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hello. How is everybody this Thursday hump day for some people?
Cold.
Pretty good.
Cold.
Pretty good.
And
Tired.
Mm-hmm.
more is coming your way.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be even
Oh
colder tonight.
my.
Supposed to be colder tonight. Just below me is our B button friend, John. Hello, John.
Hey, Shirley.
Hey.
Doing okay?
Yep, I'm
That's what you
fine.
get for that, John.
Alright, way at the bottom left hand corner is our resident Joker, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. And yes, I am very tired. I didn't get to bed till about 2:30 a.m.
Ugh.
What time
I
And
did you
ran
get
out
up?
of
finally,
ZQL.
oh. Well, anyway, way at the bottom, is our spirit spotter, Tim. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, my dear. And yes, I too am amongst the very, very, very tired group tonight.
Alright.
But the one thing that's keeping me
Overstretch.
holding on is the knowledge that I'm about to share with all of you.
Okay.
And that knowledge is Chaos God is sus.
Mhm.
Thump.
Don't ever forget that. Chaos God is sus.
And remember, folks, I am not a sus.
Chaos
Yeah,
God
no
Can
wasn't.
way.
you imagine
Chaos.
Richard Nixon actually doing that?
I am not.
Chaos.
Yeah, you
Chaos
gotta,
God was an
yeah,
imposter.
you gotta make it convincing. You know, when he would say, I am not a crook. In this case, he'd say, I am not a sus.
I know the creators of Futurama were imaginative enough to imagine him saying, "And by harvesting ice off Halley's comet, we will cure the global warming problem once and for all." But what about if it runs out? Once and for all.
Alright, so anyway, basically what I'm gonna review is the first 3 episodes of the Marvel Studios show WandaVision that's on Disney Plus. And this is gonna be fairly quick because, because each episode, it's only it's no more than 30 minutes, but the one thing that's always bothered me, why do they need 7 minutes worth of credits?
Probably
Seriously.
filler. Probably
Um,
filler.
keep in mind, Shirley, TV shows used to have 7 minutes worth of credits, and they weren't always uh, overdubbed by a TV announcer telling you what was coming on next.
Well, I wouldn't usually see them no more than 30 seconds. So, hell, that's how I got into The Magician. That's another story.
Hey,
Oh
maybe we could do
my.
the other story after the reviews.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly quick. But anyway, the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, they have been very, very trippy, but very good. And without spoiling too much, I'm going to say it this way. Each show so far has taken place in a different decade, and it's been done in the style of sitcoms. Like the first one is kind of Dick Van Dyke. Second one has been a Bewitched style one, and the third one, this past one, has been basically the Brady Bunch style.
They're
Minus
gonna
the
do
kids.
Yeah, minus the kids.
they're gonna do Gilligan's Island next. Do you think?
No, they're probably going to go into the 80s next.
So wait a
Well,
minute.
keep in mind Brady Bunch
Okay.
was '60s, so
hmm
what came in the '70s that was popular?
Well, the Brady Bunch
Sanford and
ran
Son.
until
There's a good
1980.
one.
Yeah, well, Brady Bunch ran until 19, I think 72 or 3. So
I'll be back in a minute.
okay. Yeah, Brady Bunch went into the early '70s. So, but I'll tell you this: one of my favorite parts was when they managed to get Dick Van Dyke in as a sitcom consultant to make sure they got that part right.
Very
Oh
nice.
Yeah,
my.
that was a great way of bridging the gap of bridging the generations right there. Cause like, dang, they got Dick Van Dyke, nice.
The only times we can say Dick and Dyke on the air and not get in trouble.
Exactly. Because after all, that's his name, and he's still alive and kicking too.
Very
But
nice.
hmm But what I've liked about it so far is you've got the comedy element, but there's this air of mystery because there's something weird going on. Okay, because somebody's controlling something because you see these little nuances, or like in the second episode alone, you see somebody's trying to contact Wanda through the radio, and then the radio explodes. And so forth. Like there's something weird going on. And something else to note: one of the characters named Geraldine is actually her last name is actually Rambeau, and she's the daughter of Captain Marvel's best friend, who's all grown up. So yeah, but so far it's been crazy. And now the fourth episode is tomorrow, and I will be watching it in the morning, and I'll probably put a review up on Stardust. If by the way, if you don't have the Stardust app, get it because you can like put up reviews up to 60 seconds, and I look at other people's reactions too. So it's a pretty neat little app. Yeah, it's a pretty neat app. But seriously, so far, WandaVision, I've really enjoyed it. It's been trippy. There's not been a lot of explosions. In this case, the explosions would not help this story. It really would not, because everybody's expecting where are the explosions? Where are the explosions? Like, this one's gonna make you think more.
In the words of Dr. Manhattan, or rather a portrayal of him, why challenge people's perceptions of right and wrong when you can show a feral mutant dodging helicopter blades?
hmm Exactly. But yeah, so I mean, so far the series has been really, really good to me. Now, a lot of people are saying, some people are saying it's too slow. Some people are saying, why were the first two in black and white? Well, they were trying to reflect the how they were at the time, black and white. And by the way, Sajo's now in the chat room. Hey, Sajo.
Hey, Sandro. I'm also
Hey,
looking
Sanjo.
forward to the next episode because I started watching it last week with Ash.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
all caught up.
yeah. I'm pretty much caught up. I'll be watching it in the morning. So, because I'm
Nice.
looking forward. I'm looking forward to these because they've been fun. They've been trippy, and it's like all these characters. I can't wait for all the big hair of the '80s.
Oh, God.
Well, now they'll get big hair if they do the '70s.
hmm
Not to
Well,
mention
Back and
platform
feeling more
shoes
comfortable. Back.
and disco suits
yeah. Well, I don't. I'm not sure they're gonna do the
and bell
disco.
bottoms.
hmm
Can't forget bell bottoms.
Right, but
I
you see, the thing is, if they're gonna go each decade, they're probably gonna skip over the disco part. Just go straight in the '80s. So, because I
Hey,
know that
now wait a minute. The
what
disco era was part of the decades.
in the
Exactly.
'70s, but you
in
see,
the
they've already
mid
covered
to
it.
late 70s.
They've already covered that '70s in the third episode.
How
So,
did
So,
they explain Vision's red skin?
he didn't have red. No, he doesn't have red skin to the neighbors.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's only when he's inside the house with just Wanda.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. See, I missed the reviews, so
That's all right. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, I mean, if you like a show that's gonna make you seriously think, and it can make it feel trippy without actually being high on anything,
Hmm.
this
we've
is
got.
this is a good one.
So, do they touch on issues?
Well, not really, because basically it's kind of based on like a comic book set called The House of M.
It's basically supposed to take place after
Endgame.
Endgame.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
A quick thought.
what would
Sorry.
happen if the Marvel characters survived? In other words.
Well,
Not
I
exact.
will be right back.
okay.
Hurry
Okay.
back.
Yeah, but see, that's the fun part. It's like part comedy with an air of mystery and like a weird, sinister twist of some type, which I like.
Yeah.
It's like this is a show that's gonna make you think. There's barely any explosions. Like I said, it
Close
doesn't
it.
work for this one.
A quick thought occurs to me. Did I hear you say something about this show seeming to make more sense if you have a little altitude?
If you're
Well,
high.
no. Well, I
I
mean,
knew exactly what you were saying.
yeah. It's like it's like if you were like if I mean, it's a show that's gonna make you think without ever being high on anything.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hmm.
I'll tell you this much. The thought occurs to me. You guys remember the show VeggieTales from the early '90s?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. It's still around
Given the
somewhere.
theme song and how it opens, if you like to talk to tomatoes, if a squash can make you smile, and if you like to waltz with potatoes, I gotta wonder just how sober they expect their viewers to be.
Or how sober the writers were when they wrote that song.
Well, it could be like Barney.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they were stoned off their ass. But are we
Oh,
done with WandaVision?
Yeah, we're done. We got it.
Oh, before I
I will
forget, I
say this
don't.
real quick.
Uh,
They weren't stoned off their asses. You ever heard of a kid show from Britain called Booba?
nope,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
haven't.
Here's the thing, Shirley. That show, near as I can figure, makes the Teletubbies look like it makes sense.
I
Oh
believe it because
no.
It's just
there's a show in another country. We can't even talk about that one because of a certain body part that gets used in the episode, but it's geared toward kids. Go figure.
you're gonna have to show me that one after we're off the air. But the thing of it
Yeah.
is, when the creators of Booba were making it, they deliberately contrived it in ways that were designed to be educational to little kids.
Hmm.
And that's all it was meant to do. VeggieTales, the sad truth is, the creators of that were probably dead sober. They were just trying to turn kids onto Christ. That was it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
And kids will laugh and chuckle and smile at a merry little song about if you like to talk to tomatoes, if your squash can make you smile.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When you're growing up, it's real cool. You hear the theme song, and
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half Shell.
Yep.
exactly. Then when you get older, you think, wait a minute. Teenage Mutant Ninja
Turtles?
Turtles.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know
How exactly did you connect those guys?
Well, thank the two creators.
Um,
Okay, Janet.
I
Go ahead.
know.
Anyway,
We're talking about kids shows.
Mhm.
How many of you have a show that you watched when you were a kid and you wonder, did I actually when you're an adult, you look at it from a different point of view and did I actually watch that when I was little?
Yeah.
I had
Mine
several.
was Batman. When I was a kid, I loved to watch the original Batman series.
Me
And
too.
when I watch it as an adult, you know what my reaction is? I
This
look
is
at it and I go,
crap.
"Did I actually watch that? Did I actually watch that shit?"
Did I
That was
actually
my
laugh?
initial reaction.
Did I actually cheer at Adam West saying, "Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb"?
Yeah.
That was in the Batman
Movie, the
movie.
1966 movie. Okay, I think Frodo wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Frodo.
Well,
Your turn.
actually, I was saying, are we about ready to switch over?
Yeah, I believe we are.
All right. You may want to hit the button.
Okay, one supernova rant rocket coming up. Get clear, everybody.
Or even better, shut the what the fuck?
Seal all entrances
Okay.
and exits, close all shops in the mall, cancel the three ring circuits, secure all animals in the zoo.
Okay, go
All
ahead,
right.
Frodo.
This one especially targets me, B button, Tim to a lesser extent, and Joker. But it's everyone that matters here. What can I say about my idiotic, backwards ass state that I haven't said before? Oh, wait, I know. Now we're all freaking going after a right that has been secured by the Supreme Court of the land. To
I'm back,
explain.
Welcome back.
but I may
To
not be back for much longer, unfortunately.
Getting
I
Well,
tired
if
just
you
again.
gotta
been
go, you
trying
gotta
to.
go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my stomach is feeling kind of bloated,
Okay. All
oh,
right.
okay.
so
All
I may
right.
have to go to bed. So
Okay.
if I have to bow out, please forgive me.
You're
I'll
forgiven
All
take the
good.
already.
wet.
Don't worry about
I'll
it.
take.
No forgiveness.
I'll take the wet noodle lashes.
No, you'll
No, we
take
don't
the
need it. You're
black
fine.
licorice lashes.
Oh hell no! It'll be the wet noodle.
Okay. All right, Frodo, go ahead.
Anyway, the representatives in my lovely little state of Iowa decided it was a good idea to try and take away the rights of about half the population of our state. What am I talking about? A right guaranteed in the 1970s to every single woman in the country.
Abortion?
Roe v. Wade. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oops. I
Nope.
should have been.
You're good.
I should have been careful.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So, in Iowa, in order for a constitutional amendment to our constitution to become valid, it must pass through both chambers of the House and Senate twice
Mm-hmm.
and then be approved by the voters. Okay? That means that we have to have four read throughs.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Excuse me.
here's the problem with this. Okay, to explain the problem, sorry, I was playing a video in the background. Iowa House has officially said yes to this constitutional amendment, which would strip away a woman's right to choose and to protect her own life if, let's say, the child is causing the mother to become death, be getting closer to death. Now, I understand that there are people on both sides of this argument, and this argument will not be. Uh, this argument is controversial in its nature. So I acknowledge completely the controversial nature of that. However, for a state like ours to try and overrule the Supreme Court of the United States is wrong. Pure, simple, dead serious. Wrong. Now, I'm going to say this, and I hope no one gets offended by this.
Okay, hold on. Before you go on, JJ's now in the chat room as well. Hey,
Hi,
JJ.
JJ.
Okay.
And she's saying the video's buffering.
Yeah, go figure.
Okay.
Her computer, whatever she does, is probably causing problems. But here's what I'm gonna say. Um, first off, you guys, what's your opinion on abortion rights?
You want to know something? It's not the court's right to choose. It's not the men's right to choose. It is the woman's right to choose. What's a woman got pregnant by rape,
Hmm.
and the court and because of the law, she has to carry through and deliver a rapist's child.
Hmm.
You know, be the
There's that.
woman's right to choose. You know,
Here's
Uh,
my
that's
here's my thing, okay? And we have conservatives in our group, and that's why I'm trying to be very
did I
choosy
say
about
something
my.
wrong?
No, no, no.
Mm-mm.
That's why I'm trying to be choosy of my words,
Yeah,
because I don't want to upset anyone.
right. It's hard in this situation on this kind of topic. It
It
really
really
you
is.
know,
is.
you should keep in mind that just because they're upset doesn't per se mean they're upset with you.
Hmm.
No, I understand that. I'm trying to avoid an issue in the group, okay?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
which is fine.
Um,
But
I think I
anyway,
should. Sorry.
go ahead.
I think I should speak up real quick.
Go for it.
Personally, if I'll say this about that, I support people being able to buy contraceptives if they choose. You want to buy a condom or a diaphragm or spermicidal gel or even pay for partial sterilization surgery, you go ahead. It should be your right. The thing about abortion with me is that if it were just concerning the individual woman, I'd be okay with it. The problem is it doesn't just involve her, it also involves the child who gets aborted. See, here's my old problem. We all started out as fetuses in our mother's wombs. And if it's right for women these days to have an abortion, it was just as right for their mothers to have an abortion, even if the law didn't say so. And if that were the case, what if their mothers had chosen to abort them?
Well, and
Basically, my thought is unless you're prepared to see it or to have see it, no. Unless you're prepared for it to happen to you or for the consequences of it happening to you in the past, you shouldn't say, how do I put this?
never say never, kind of.
Not exactly. Basically, it's similar to don't dish it out if you can't take it.
Right.
If
oh,
you're
I
not
I
prepared to be
understand
aborted,
where you're
don't say
coming
it's
from, John.
okay for other women to abort their kids. If you weren't okay with your mom aborting you, which implicitly you would be saying was her right, if you're saying it's okay for women to have abortions, then if you wouldn't be okay with that happening to you, don't be okay with it happening to another unborn kid, which is how all of us started out at one point.
Okay. Okay. I completely agree with you in many aspects, B button. However, let me counter your statement by saying, and this is, I'm not trying to be disgusting or anything, and Twitch, this is not a reference to anything sexual or anything like that. This is a reference directly to biology. So I apologize in advance. I hope you guys understand that this is not meant to be offensive. That being said, John, do you and I have indoor plumbing?
Depends on what you mean by indoor plumbing. I have a toilet that I've used every day as well as a shower.
I'm talking body. I'm
No,
talking like our organs.
no, in that sense, we do not.
Okay. As
Though
that's
technically part of our anatomy would be considered internal.
but the vast majority of what we consider reproductive anatomy for us is external plumbing. Would you agree?
Largely, yes.
Okay. As such, I do not believe that any man, and I use man in the cis term, cisgender males, have any right whatsoever to dictate what happens with a woman's body. Okay? That being said, that being said, my mother had a miscarriage before me. I could have been an aborted baby. Yeah, I completely acknowledge that. Okay? I don't care. I really don't care. I believe that. Okay, and this is going to sound really bad, but it's the truth. Until such time as you, as a baby, as a fetus, is
Leave the
capable.
cage door open. Come here.
Until such time as the fetus slash
Good
child
night, you guys. See you tomorrow.
slash
Right,
whatever you want
Janet,
to
you have a
call it,
good one.
right, is capable of surviving on its own until such time as it is no longer dependent on the mother for everything. I believe the mother has a right to choose.
What about
Um,
if they do the ultrasound, etc., and they find out the baby has severe birth defects?
Funny you should mention that, Janet.
Uh, that's a photo.
Go
Answer
ahead.
my question.
No, I want John to answer that because he seems to have a point.
Here's the thing. You guys might have heard this story before. I know I heard it on a Sunday when I was a teenager. Imagine you have a family and they're not in the best of wealth. The father drinks. They have, I think, 5 children, all of whom have various kinds of birth defects. And the wife, the mom, is getting ready to have a sixth. Do you think, with the likelihood of having birth defects, that that child should be aborted?
It, de-
That's a good question because
I never
um,
thought about that.
that's an interesting question because I will tell you the truth. My ex sister in law, when she gave birth
Hmm.
to my younger nephew, they said the doctor said there was a 20% chance he could have had Down syndrome. Now, the good news is he was born perfectly healthy, does not have it.
That
Trisomy
was
21.
what, Hunter?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
anyway, would any of you have given serious consideration to aborting that child, given what that child would have been born into and what it potentially would have been born with?
It depends on the severity of what the kid was born with.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I would.
if
Yeah, that's what I would say.
the home is abusive, or they're down on their
Eventually, it
luck,
is
you know, the drugs, alcohol, and
alcohol.
the risk to the kid from
Hmm.
parents who are doing the drugs. Another example is these people who do drugs. They give
Right.
birth to crack
Um,
babies, and they spend
and
months and
Janet,
months
would
undergoing
I be
withdrawal symptoms.
correct in saying that you'd probably be relatively in favor of it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
depends on the severity of the circumstances.
Well, if you would have been in favor of it and you had your wishes granted, you would have aborted Ludwig von Beethoven.
Hmm.
I
I'm not
never
gonna
knew
Any
that.
say I'm not gonna say
anytime
too much on this subject, but while I'm still semi-coherent, I'm gonna just say this, and this is where I stand. When it comes to birth defects, I kind of agree with the idea of it depends on the severity of it and the home in which the child would be born in, and the ability of the parents to provide proper care for the child, which generally is going to
Excuse me a
vary
minute.
from pregnancy to pregnancy.
yeah.
But where I take a hard line stance, and I mean a hard line stance, is this: if there is a risk to the mother or the unborn child of death, then abortion should be permitted.
Yeah.
If the fetus or unborn child is the result of incest or rape, and only incest or rape, then abortion should be permitted. Any
I
other
can't say
reason,
I agree with that,
but
but
well, I can understand disagreeing to a degree on the incest part, but I don't think a woman should be forced to carry a rapist child.
That's what I
That would
said
be
earlier in the discussion.
that would be considered an unwanted child forced upon a woman. She should not be forced to carry it. I can understand, although I don't agree, with incest up to a point. But anyway, getting back to where I was going with this. Any other reason but those, I do not believe abortion should be permitted. Reason being, the idea of an abortion is not to have a free do over as much as you want.
it's not
When you
meant as birth control.
exactly,
Exactly.
that is essentially that. Yes, that's what I'm getting at. And I say incest because that tends to lead to a lot of problems. Going back to the whole birth defect thing.
Okay, I will agree
But
with that, Tim.
but outside of those specific circumstances, as I just put forth, I would not be in favor of abortion in any circumstance, but the
Understood.
ones I listed.
Yeah.
Okay, can I say something to counter you?
Mm.
May I ask, do you believe that now I agree that the father in the situation should have a say. But do you think everyone with outdoor plumbing, as it were, should have a say in every single woman's choices? I completely agree with abortion. No, I do not completely agree with abortion. However, seeing as how I am a man, okay,
Mm.
my opinion is moot. And as such, this is where I stand, okay? And I understand both you guys' views. You're perfectly cool with me, okay? My view is this: when it comes to anything in a doctor's office or in your own home between two consenting adults, when it comes to those two things, nobody should intervene at all. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the freaking emperor of the planet. You have no right interceding in the doctor's office or the bedroom. None.
I don't think John or I are arguing that though, Frodo.
No, I don't
Um,
think you all are. But I'm just trying to put my viewpoint out there
I
as
understand.
okay,
I
which
do have.
means which
Sorry.
means if the patient in question, and yes, you may not agree with it, you may not like it, but if the patient in question thinks that they need the abortion, who am I to say they can't?
What if you're the father of the child?
If you're the father of the child, yes, you have certain inalienable rights. Okay?
Yeah.
But here's one example. Okay? My wife, I'm sorry to put you on blast on air, honey, but my wife has issues that can cause uh, problems with fertility. Okay? And if she became pregnant tomorrow, if she became pregnant tomorrow and they found that the pregnancy was going to kill her, I'll be honest, I'd be all I'd be okay with losing the baby to keep her alive.
It would be too.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, if there's two things that you need to understand. If you have outdoor plumbing, as it were, with regards to reproductive organs, you don't have the right to an opinion in my eyes. Okay?
Well, that's
Unless
where
you
you and I don't see eye to eye, Frodo. Because the
Yeah,
fact
and
is,
nor will I. Nor will I, because
that's fine. That's
there
fine.
are certain circumstances where I think an abortion should be considered applicable. But
Well,
as I said before, and I think John understands where I'm coming from, the idea of an abortion is not to be a free do-over.
no,
it's
no,
not
no.
No,
supposed to be.
definitely not.
But
Okay,
it's
but what I'm
Timothy.
saying is unless you are the one that impregnated the person in question, you don't have a right to interfere.
How about
I
bringing
think
up the subject
you
of the
if you have the permission of both the man and the woman,
That would
then
be an
absolutely you
exception.
do. Then you absolutely do.
That would be an exception.
how
Okay?
about the opposite of abortion? How about these people uh, show in question, 19 kids and counting. They have kid after kid after kid after kid.
If they
I
can
think
take
they're
care of
trying
them,
to
they can
get
take care of them. That's what matters.
Yeah,
exactly.
but mostly in 19 kids and counting, they keep having the kids for TV ratings. Friggin'
That
TV
or
ratings.
they're taking advantage of the public assistance programs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Like
they're using the fact that you get uh, credit for every child you have born.
True.
Your
think
tax.
like
Janet,
Octomom. Think like
well,
Octomom.
not anymore.
Yes, yes, yes. I know exactly who you're talking about.
What were you
Janet,
saying, John?
my question is: are these kids, regardless of why they're being sired, being cared for and cared for well? That's
They
the
were until
question
the
we
parents
need.
got
That is
divorced. They
that
were
is
until the parents got divorced, and then there was a bitter custody battle.
and that might
No,
be
no,
a
I'm
good
thinking
reason
of John
for
and Kate plus 8.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
that's
John and
well,
Kate
right.
plus 8.
but still, it's the same thing. I am in complete agreement with John. Are these people having children for legitimate
As far as I know,
reasons,
yes.
or
I
are
really
they
didn't
doing
watch the
this
show.
in order to gain something from it, being, like he said, ratings on television. Or as I said, gaming the public assistance programs that are out there, like Octomom did.
As
Tim,
far
it's
as
Octomom
not
I
wasn't
even
know,
checking.
that.
as far
It,
as I know, they were being taken care of.
Tim, it's not even that. Janet hit the nail on the head there. You can have a kid because you think an alien from Pluto told you to sire one. But as long as you raise the kid well and, among other things, raise him or her such that they can live without you, that's all that matters to me.
That's true. But let me ask everyone here a question.
All right.
All right. No, I don't agree completely with what you're saying, but I agree with the idea. However, the law of the land states, as it is right now, that abortion is legal throughout the country. Okay, let's just put that as a framework for this. Okay, for what I'm about to say. Do you believe that a state, in this case Iowa, has the right to overrule the Supreme Court of the United States?
Mm-mm.
Technically, they do if they are truly working together with the federal government. But as history's shown, that's not always a good idea on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and this is not them working together with the federal government. This is them putting this dictation down. Okay?
Well, I guess working alongside the federal government. See, the thing of it is, Frodo, it's not like state governments are just middlemen between citizens and the federal government.
No.
The feds and the states work alongside each other. The thing of it is, technically, they do have that right. It just isn't always a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this then. And
Mm,
I'm not trying to inflame a war here. I'm just trying to say,
right.
if, let's just say that this constitutional amendment passes its requirements, gets voted on twice by the House and Senate in Iowa, they both vote yes, it goes to
Yeah.
the voters, and it gets to the point where it's on the cusp of being put in the Constitution.
Mm,
Okay? Because that's what we're talking about here. We're not just talking about some little law. We're talking
right.
about them amending the Iowa Constitution.
Right.
Okay? So, let's just say, for argument's sake, it passes. Which in this state it probably would because of how red we are. No offense.
I never took any.
I'm just
Red's my
saying.
favorite color, oddly enough.
Well, I'm just saying no offense so that no one takes offense to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's fine.
Okay? I'm covering my bases here, trying
Yeah.
to be reasonable.
You're fine, Frodo. I
Yeah.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like the
Well,
thing.
let Frodo finish his question, then I'll
Okay.
answer.
Okay. Let's say I'll just throw myself and my wife under the bus again. Let's say she's having birth problems with the pregnancy.
Mm,
Her body's rejecting it for whatever reason, and if we don't abort that child, she dies.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we abort, the doctor who aborted me and my wife all get charged with murder or whatever they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm,
We argue the case and take it all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says, yeah, that constitutional amendment is. Eh, eh, eh. What would you say to all the people whose lives have been negatively affected by this constitutional amendment being in place, being forced to have children that they didn't want, and you increase the load in the foster care system to the point where the foster care system in the state, which is
Is
already
overloaded to the point they can't get there will be more foster kids than there are families to foster them.
well, and
That's another.
our state right now is kind of in that situation anyway, but let's just say the foster system breaks completely down. What would you say then?
Well, the first thing I'd probably say is this: nobody's opinion is moot on the basis of their accidents of birth, and that includes their opinion about reproductive rights. Just
Mm-hmm.
because you don't, quote, have the right organs doesn't mean your opinion doesn't matter. Not only is that wrong, potentially it's bigoted. Specifically,
Okay.
it's sexist. Hold on.
Okay.
Second off, if that did happen, I wouldn't largely have anything to say because the fact of the matter is, Iowa tried to amend their constitution, and if in arguing this all the way
I'll
up
be
to the
back
Supreme
shortly.
Court,
Okay.
if arguing this all the way up to the Supreme Court, it was determined through all the proper legal channels that abortion should be legal, it wouldn't matter whether it had been legal or not, because in the end, what's done would have been done. The
Right.
only thing left to do is not to say something, but to help the kids who need help, however you feel motivated to do so, to learn from history, and then to try to do better next time.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask this is
Mm.
not to attack, but to seriously, because here's the fact of the matter. Okay, I understand you saying it's sexist. Okay, I I understand, but I'm using it as a generalized example. Okay,
Mhm.
my point my point in asking these questions is this. And again, I'm gonna have to majorly apologize because this is gonna sound major majorly rude or disrespectful to people. So, apologies in advance. But why the fuck is it that a bunch of men who are honestly, most of them older than 50 years old, have any right to dictate rights in any place?
Well, the answer to that is simple, Frodo. As long as they are U.S. citizens who are of voting age and not convicted felons, they have the right to vote. And like any U.S. citizen with the right to vote, vicariously, they have the right to shape policies, even policies affecting things like reproductive rights. Just because we don't agree with them or don't think we know what they know what they're talking about doesn't mean we have the right to strip them of their previously
No,
had rights.
no, we don't. You're right. We don't have. Here's the thing. As I was saying earlier, my general feeling is this: if it's going on in consensual way between two consensual adults in their bedrooms, or it's in the doctor's office in a place where privacy is expected, okay, in my humble opinion, sorry, I shouldn't have. Anyway, in my humble opinion, no one should have any right to dictate what goes on in private areas
Hmm.
for anyone. Opinion again.
Understandable.
That is a simple opinion, and I'm prefacing all my statements tonight with I've been prefacing this. This is me speaking me.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
I do not think
Oh,
that
fudge. Chocolate
Hmm.
fudge.
that I do
I could
not
go for
believe
that.
that what essentially boils down to well until about 12 to 15 weeks of gestation boils down to in a way a parasite. I do not believe that has any more rights than a tapeworm. But once you cross that mark that mark where they go from embryo to fetus, yeah, they have rights. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and I have something I should say in response. Sorry about this. I don't mean to monopolize.
No, no, no. You know what? We're having a debate, and this is good. I like having little debates on the show because means that we respect each other enough to debate and discuss, but not attack one another.
Exactly. Frodo, I understand your point. Here's the thing that worries me about it. What you're talking about is the question of when does a human being get considered a person? See, the problem is, before conception, the sex cells are just tissue from the parent's body.
Right.
For all intents and purposes, though, at conception, the fertilized egg becomes a stem cell that divides and, in accordance with the hormones to which is exposed, grows into a baby.
Yep.
The problem is, at conception, at that point, for all intents and purposes, it becomes a separate organism. To say that for part of its gestation, it has the same rights as a verminous animal and only those
Hmm.
rights, then after a certain point, it has legal status as a person. That's the equivalent of the law officially declaring a human being a person. The problem is that's dehumanizing. Americans tried doing that in the past with black slavery, trying essentially to say that legally black people were not persons. And look where it got us.
Yep.
Nowhere good.
Hmm.
The
I
problem
agree
is,
with you.
the thing of it
I'm
is, I don't want to see, I don't want the law to have the power to say that because, for example, of my age or something like that, something I don't control, I may or may not be a person and have the rights associated therewith. The thing of it is, life never began at conception. Living tissue was always present. But at conception, they become a separate organism. And that separate organism is what we each started out as. I believe that unless we're okay with the government setting an age at which we're declared a person, and I, for one, am not, then we need to say that at conception, that embryo is a separate person and has some rights, has rights comparable to a person. Shirley, you feeling okay?
Really?
Shirley?
Mm, yes.
Really?
Yes, I'm right here.
Wakey,
Sorry.
I'm
wakey.
right here.
B
I'm right
Button
here.
asked you a question.
Okay.
All I asked was if she was okay.
I'm fine.
That's all I got to say on the subject. Shirley, I think we should turn attention over to you or you're liable to fall asleep.
Yeah. Because, yes, I took a shower tonight. And that usually zonks me out.
Yeah.
So, but, but going on these topics and everything, it's like, it's always a tough thing because it's like one side's going to say no, you shouldn't do that. The other side is they think, the thing is abortion is not that easy a decision in the first place.
It really isn't, and that's the
No.
biggest
That
problem
right, because
because
everybody
we're
thinks,
debating
"Oh,
and
right, everybody's thinking, "Oh, people get these women can get abortions." So he's like, "No. That's not how it works. It is not that simple of a decision to make because you got to think about, you know, is it the right thing? Is it, well,
Is
my
it
baby could die.
necessary?
I could die. Is it necessary? Because it's not like I can go to the doctor and say I want an abortion. No, it's not that simple.
Yeah,
I do
and
apologize for
I'm
dozing
agree.
off. Sorry.
it's okay.
No, you're fine, Shirley. What I was gonna say is this, okay? And it's simply this, okay?
I'm listening.
As far as I am concerned, and this is how general my view is. If it happens in the bedroom of consenting adults, or it happens in a doctor's office, nobody should be allowed to interfere.
Huh.
Because the decisions of two consenting adults in the bedroom is their decision. Who
Mhm.
cares if they're LGBTQ plus? Who cares what they are? As long as it's consensual between adults,
Mhm.
Right.
fine.
Uh,
Second, the
I believe
the,
the same thing.
the doctor's office. Nothing, nothing should ever interfere in the decisions between doctor and patient. There is this thing called HIPAA that exists that says that no one has the right to your personal information in a doctor's office.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That should include all treatment decisions. That means it doesn't matter. If you need uh if you want to put yourself at risk for a clinical trial that's got
Hmm.
a 50-50 shot of death, you should have that right. You shouldn't be told by any government, I don't care what city, state, country you're in, what you can and cannot do in your doctor's office with you and your doctor.
Mhm.
That is
Proto,
your business, not the government's.
Proto, for the most part, I agree with you. I think there's some limits about medical care, but for the most part, I agree with you.
Mhm.
I do think this, and I suspect you will probably agree with me. If you're to have that freedom, you have to be responsible for it, meaning
Exactly.
you have to accept the consequences of your actions.
Right.
And that's one thing that I think needs to be understood. You if you are over 18 years old in America, if you're
Uh-huh.
over the age of majority, you are responsible for every single one of your decisions. I don't
Mhm.
care if it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
It
Yeah,
is your decision.
exactly.
That and if you are under 18 and let's say over 12, now over 13. So let's say you're between the ages of 13 and 18,
You're an
you
adolescent. Yeah.
should have some rights to have your medical stuff private to yourself.
Mhm.
Parents should have some overview on that, but you should have some right to privacy with your medical.
I
Before
agree.
12, eh, you're
Of course,
you're being
before
watched
12,
by
you largely don't care. But
exactly.
Mhm.
So,
um,
and you see what I just did there? Very easy to understand steps.
Mhm.
exactly.
More you have more control over what goes on with your body at age 13 and up because you're more aware of you in the world.
Yeah.
And that's really the key thing I'm trying to say. You at
Wow.
18, you're very aware of you in the world.
Mm-hmm.
13, you're becoming aware of you in the world.
And you still don't know where in the world is Carmen San Diego. Sorry, I thought that
Knew
was
that had
weird.
to
Gotcha.
come up.
What about
But
where in time?
Tish.
Because isn't time important too?
That's
I
true. There is.
personally really like where the fuck is Carmen San Diego?
There you go.
You got sucked into a black hole.
But
Mhm.
no, you get what
Like
I'm
Ren and
saying
Stimpy
though.
did? Yes, I do. And I think since we have found common ground, Shirley,
Mhm.
it's 10 o'clock now. Maybe we should end things on a high note.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well,
Yes.
I do need to do a little bit of a low note. We did lose another actress today. Cicely Tyson, 96.
Um, Also, Shirley,
Yeet.
before we go, we should let the fans know about the changes that we're working with.
All right, this is what we're going to do. Starting next week, we're moving the show back a couple of hours.
Uh-uh.
And,
7 o'clock for me.
okay.
8
1
o'clock for
hour for
us.
Oh,
now.
1 hour from now. All right. So we're going to change from 9 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central.
And then Janet is when we're in,
Daylight saving
Daylight
time.
savings time.
we'll do something different to accommodate, but we're trying to make it so that all of us can be on the show
And we
And
Without
not
noticed
falling
I
asleep.
dozed off.
and not
Yeah.
Shirleying throughout the show.
Okay.
Madam Tish.
To the listeners that were probably listening and watching last night, my dogs woke me up very early yesterday morning, and my ass drags the ground about this time of night.
Mhm.
But I didn't fall asleep tonight, and they got me up at fucking 4:30.
Yeah.
Well, and like I was saying, from now on, I think we're gonna have as an inside joke. If you doze off in the show, you're called doing a Shirley.
And it doesn't bother me one bit. If anyone thinks I'm going to be offended by that,
And if
screw
Shirley falls
you,
asleep,
because I ain't.
hey, and if Shirley falls asleep during the show, we could call it doing a Janet.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'll put it this way. Sometimes when my mother's asleep, she look like this. Just what?
I try not to fall asleep with my mouth
I
open
think
because
that's
it dries
roughly
my
how
goddamn
I
throat
sleep.
out.
Yeah, but
Oh
seriously, I mean,
man.
you guys probably saw me like this too. Like,
Last time I slept with a
Uh-huh.
room last time I shared a room with somebody, I had completely forgotten about this about myself. This guy listened to the sounds I was making in my sleep. He was worried I was going to smother. I apparently have sleep apnea so bad that under the right circumstances, I stopped breathing during the night. And I
yeah,
think it's gotten a little
You
better. I
really ought
started
to
wearing
get that looked at, mister.
well,
Do
I
you have a
started wearing a
CPAP
mouth.
machine?
No, I did start wearing a mouth guard, and that's helped me sleep deeper. So I suspect I'm getting some more oxygen there.
okay,
Well, can I give you a suggestion?
Sure.
When you get a chance, next time you see your general practitioner, right?
Hmm.
Talk to them about it and ask if you can get a sleep study done.
yeah, because I did.
And trust me, I did too. And ever since I got my CPAP machine, I sleep like a log. You can even ask her how hard I sleep.
How
Yeah.
hard does he sleep, Sarah?
How hard does he?
Here, I'll hand her the headset.
But
He sleeps
yeah,
with the fucking tornado sirens.
That's hard. So
He
am
sounds
I.
like fuck. You sleep through tornado sirens?
no,
Yep.
he's. Oh, okay. Dang.
I sleep
sleep.
through them.
I could not do that. Sleep,
Me
CPAP
neither. I'm a
or
very
not.
light sleeper.
You
to
see,
begin
Especially when
with.
I'm with the radio right next to the bed.
Well, with us, we get a test every month,
Mhm.
first Wednesday of the month at 9:45 in the morning.
And you hear the sirens.
Yeah, you hear the sirens because they're testing because we also have a new power plant close by.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
It's
That
not,
thing
we have
goes-
one that's not close to us, but I'm sure we'd get the alert message.
Yeah, I
Well,
know. First Wednesday of the month at 3:30 for me here. So,
when we get that siren test, she wakes up every single time. Me?
well, since mine's at 3:30 in the afternoon, it's like if I don't have my watch on, at least
What
I know what time it is.
what time
Yeah.
is it? No. It's just a test, honey. Go back to sleep.
Yeah, but but
That's
yeah,
how our
seriously.
conversation goes every month.
Yeah, but
All
seriously,
right.
so
Honey.
with mine at
Hey,
3:30,
guys,
yes.
back when I was working nights, I'm pretty sure I slept through those test sirens.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
I've
I would
never heard
sleep
the only.
till about 2 in the afternoon. I'd go to work, be at work by 3:30, come home after midnight, and generally go to bed around 4 in the morning.
Well, you want
I
to
ain't
know
making that
something?
up.
I've never heard a tornado siren. The only way I hear the sirens is when they do the test on the TV every couple of
Oh,
weeks.
I'll tell you something.
Nice.
When I went to Jeff Davis High School on Carter Hill Road, across the street was Danley Elementary School. It's still there. Both schools are still there. But here's what's crazy. When they would test the siren at 3:30, they had the siren right at Danley
Ow.
Elementary School. That thing was loud.
Well,
Let's put it
hey,
this way. If you're anywhere within, say, 300 yards of one of those sirens and you happen to be outside, it hurts like a bitch.
Yes, it does. I can understand why, but a lot of people, a lot of the meteorologists are saying don't necessarily rely on those outdoor sirens because they're meant for the outdoors.
Yes.
That's why they say to tell you get the weather radio.
As storm spotters, I'm going to say this. Outdoor warning sirens are not designed to be able to be heard inside your home. If they're heard, cool, but they're not designed to be.
Right.
Every single person in this country, every single household should have one emergency radio that is NOAA weather radio compatible, and find your station and keep it there. Because if those sirens are going off, you want to make sure you know if it's a true emergency or not. Sometimes they won't announce it. But if you have a weather radio, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's like I said, mine is right next to my bed, and I will tell you, and Mike can attest to this, Tim can attest to this, Janet can attest to this. My radio has gone off. Yeah, my radio has gone off during the show at least
oh
twice.
yes, and it's very, very loud. The National Weather Service in
Birmingham
has issued a tornado warning for the following counties. Yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
Guys, I need to get going.
Okay,
I'm
that's
All
fine.
right,
so
Jim.
That's
stressed
fine.
ahead.
out.
It's okay. It's
Good,
cool.
Sleep
Tim.
well.
all right,
Sleep.
well,
See everybody
we're about
tomorrow.
to end anyway. So,
Yeah.
Donna.
like I said earlier, as far as I'm concerned, things that are private should stay private and not under purview of government.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But also they should understand that it's not just like I said. It's not a case of I'm going to go to the doctor and say I want an abortion. No, that's not how that works.
No, no. Ow! Damn it.
You right?
Nope.
No, one of my bills fell.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Which
I'm
one?
gonna let
Bill
you guys
Field,
go.
Bill Spacely,
Bill Gates.
All right, I'll let you guys go for now.
Bill
Okay.
All
Hader.
right, Jana.
Love, peace, and chicken grease, everyone.
All right.
Love,
Back
peace, and
at
chicken
ya.
grease to you too.
Yeah, and just one quick thing before we go. Remember, folks, there are winter conditions, so drive with cake.
Oh.
That's what I had on that sign. I posted on my wall because it came courtesy of Tyler Seabury. He's a meteorologist here in Montgomery, and he saw this. Said, I gotta share this one. This is too funny to pass up. But yes, on the digital sign it says winter conditions. Drive with cake.
It's supposed to be drive with care.
But
I
then
think
again, if you
somebody
get
who put
stranded, if you have a cake, that's perfect. Of course, if you have type 2 diabetes, that can be a problem.
Yeah, something like that.
but it's a good way
What
to
is the date
go.
today? The
It's the
28th.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the 28th. Oh yes, 35th anniversary of the Challenger disaster. That was today
Yeah.
too. And I remember exactly where I was. I was at Maxwell Elementary School in the 6th grade.
I was at my old house.
Mhm.
I was at my old house and I go, and I remember very distinctly seeing this little spurt of flame come up
Yep.
from the side of the shuttle. And I remember saying, I bet you that's what caused the problem right
And sure
there.
enough, it was the O-ring
A
because of the
ring.
fact they launched the shuttle. I believe it was about what 28 degrees.
Yeah, it was below
That's,
freezing and it affected the rubber on the O rings.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
But
Warden
yeah.
Thiokol took some heat for that.
Mhm. But yeah, because I still remember Ronald Reagan's speech when he said they slipped the surely bonds of earth to touch the face of God. So,
You know the name of the poem that was taken from?
High
mm,
flight.
Exactly.
yeah.
That was the last line in
I've slipped the
high
surly
flight.
bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings.
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah. I mean, it's been a summer, and some of those kids who were supposed to be taught by Chris McAuliffe, they are now teachers themselves. So,
In Krista's memory, probably.
mhm. But yeah, and it's still somber to this day. It'll always be somber. Like coming up on September 11th. Guess what? 20 years.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough for a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, get over." It's like tell that to the 3,000 plus people who lost family members. That ain't happening. Okay.
Some things you can get over, but a lot of shit you can't.
Well, the thing is, I don't call it getting over it. I call it coming to terms with it.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm I think that's a much better thing to say than getting over it because getting over it sounds rude.
It's
Tell me about it.
minimalizing.
hmm All right. So anyway, tomorrow night, I know we have not had practice, but you know what? Let's just play. Let's just do it for the hell of it anyway. Tomorrow
Let's
night, of
just play
course,
for
is
fun.
our Friday Fun Day game du jour, which will be Shell Shock Live. So, oh, I know Mike's looking
Yeah.
forward to that. I am too. But you know what? The fun thing about it is we get to make absolute fools of ourselves for those of us who have never barely played this. And it's
Somebody help me! This thing's stuck on auto fire.
yeah, it's like
Well, and we just also get to shoot the shit too. Like it's not like we're really in hardcore mode, just having
no,
fun.
because that's the
It's so
fun
funny.
part. That's the that's that's
I'm
the
looking forward to
that's
it.
the beauty of it because it's like I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I can make an absolute idiot of myself and still have fun with it.
Well, I just
Exactly.
hope I don't dig myself into any deep fucking holes.
Make sure that you don't point straight up, Jan.
I
Yeah.
don't. I tried to level it over a hill to get Frodo last time, and what does he do?
Well, that was Frodo being a dingus.
That
So
was
what do you?
Frodo
Yeah,
being
and
Frodo.
Frodo, being a dingus, killed me when we were practicing before.
All right, well, let me play the quick 10-second ending, so hang on.
What did you forget?
I forgot to add Discord to that one. I'll fix it. Don't worry. It's only had the first five. But anyway, we hope you learn a lot about this show. I look forward to WandaVision tomorrow morning, but we talked about it's always a tough topic to talk about, but it has to, and it has to be done because people think, oh, they should be doing this. It's too easy. It is. No, it's not. So it ain't that simple. But anyway, I was just gonna say is everyone have a great night, have a safe night, sleep well, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. If you're living in California, I hope you're enjoying that 6 to 8 feet of snow you've had, because I saw Jim Cantori up to his waist in snow.
Was this in the Sierra Madres or?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, seriously,
Now, that in San Francisco, that would be something noteworthy.
yeah. Well, I think from what I hear, that system's going crazy enough. It could be causing at least 4 to 5 feet of rain. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's like but here's the biggest problem: burn scars from all those
Yeah,
wildfires last year.
with no trees to
Yeah.
hold back the all the rainwater.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mudslides.
Exactly. All right. So, just remember, everybody, just stay safe, okay? Don't do anything stupid. All right. Seriously.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So anyway, we will see you tomorrow night for our Friday Fun Day Game du jour, Shell Shock Live. And like I said, we're gonna make absolute idiots of ourselves, but who the hell cares?
Exactly.
All right. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
Not everyone.